Here we have the new 2026 Ford Escape plug-in. This one is a front-wheel drive model, comes in agate black metallic, and then we have space gray cloth and vinyl interior. The powertrain consists of a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder hybrid engine, and that's mated to an electronic continuously variable transmission. As we come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with the LED daytime running lights and the LED fog lights. Nice look there. And honestly, I really like the looks of the Escapes overall. Sorry for the wind noise, it's probably coming through. It's freezing out here. Down here, these are gonna be 18-inch aluminum wheels. Now you can plug in right here the 220 or 120. You get up to 37 miles on a full battery charge there. Passive keyless entry on the front. And to the door panel, power door lock controls. Rear window lockouts there, power mirror controls. We do get blind spot monitors in the side mirrors. And then we have one-touch up and down windows on all 4 doors. Hood release, lift gate, gas cap. And then we have the headlamp controls, manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. Here's a power driver's seat with 2-way power lumbar support. Now I want to give a huge thanks to Ford Lincoln of Franklin here in Franklin, Tennessee for allowing me to review this Escape plug-in today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Now I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so let's go ahead and check out the space here. So pretty good space back here. We do get a seat back pocket on the passenger side, AC vents, 2 USB-C charge ports. There's the view of the front from back here. And there is the panoramic sunroof, the Vista roof, excuse me. That's what the shade looks like. This middle seat folds down. Bottle holders are there. And then LED reading lights, grab handle. If you want to hang a shirt or a pair of pants on this hook, you can do that. And then if you want to get your child locks, you can just turn one way or the other in that little keyhole. And then fuel filler right there. Now as we come around to the back end, we do get LED tail lamps, dual exhaust there, and then lift gate. And then the top tethers for the car seats are integrated on the back of the seats themselves. We get a spare tire underneath. And then to the rear passenger side, lower anchors right there. And if you want to fold the seat, pull there. You can run longer objects through to the front, and then pretty easy to pop it back into place. And then you can recline it a little bit by pulling up there and pushing. So you do have a little bit of space there to get that seat the way you want it, which is always nice. And then our front passenger seat, manual seat back, seat bottom, glove compartment there. I like the trim there. And as we come back around to the front, just a quick look in the engine bay. So there's that 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder hybrid setup. Before we hop in the driver's seat, I'm just going to show off the blinkers. So nice ActiveX wrap steering wheel here. There's the horn. Over here to the screen, we do get AM, FM, XM radio along with Bluetooth. We also get wireless CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. Your navigation systems here, you have to have a full subscription to get everything, but so There's where you can see the YouTube, CarPlay, Android Auto. Then you can set this here if you want to scroll through. But I like having that up. Usually I like it on this page here. And then your features, drive modes. You can go through, you have your normal, eco, sport, and slippery. And your driver assistance, you can set your adaptive cruise control to normal if you want to do that. Lane center, you can turn that on. And then your power flow is here, as well as the charge settings. So you can do all this like you would a typical EV in terms of what you want to charge it up to, so on and so forth, your charging locations. And then your settings here, general settings, you can go in here and change your language. And then your temperature, miles, or your tire pressure units. Backup cameras here, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. You can hear the chime there. And then you can see how close you're getting with the parking sensors on the side. And then you get dual zone automatic climate controls. You can set the auto mode there, 3-stage heated seats on either side, adjust temperature on either side, toggle the AC, and you can change fan direction here. And your heated steering wheel, you can turn that on or off right there. Hazards here. And then down here, you can turn the calm screen on. This will pull up the driver assistance. It's kind of like a quick button, which I like that, honestly. And then you have your defroster and your drive modes here. Adjust your volume and then press in to turn the audio off. You get a USB-C, USB-A duo there, 12 volt. And then for the shifter, hit the brake, reverse neutral drive, hit this L, that'll kind of get you the max regen you can get on this, and turn all the way back for park. Electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down and disengage. Automatic brake hold is there. Your bottle holders, center console cubby space right in here. There's a look at the back seat from up here. And then with the roof, let's see how far back that goes. It's a one-touch slide there. Hit it a second time, it goes back a little bit further. Sunglasses holder is here. And then you do have the sunroof control, the sunshade control there. There's a look at the lights. And then your vanity mirror right there. Back up front, left side stalk, blinkers, high beams. You can flash your high beams there. And then you have your intermittent wipers on the side, one time off, intermittent low, high. You can adjust that intermittent frequency here, and then your rear wiper intermittent on there. Push back for the rear fluid, pull up for the front. Left side of the steering wheel, cruise control, you can turn that on or off. Set your speed by hitting that dial there, resume there, lane keeping system, and then the gap adjust for the adaptive cruise right there. Volume down, volume up, voice recognition, and then we have our Bluetooth button, track list, radio station presets, and then this, all this here goes through the middle part of the gauge cluster where we can adjust different things like seeing the fuel economy, if you want to see the tire pressure monitors. There's a lot you can configure here. So quite a bit. And then you also kind of have a sub menu you can go through as well whenever you're in each menu itself. Push button starts here. And finally, here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 Ford Escape plug-in out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Escape plug-in, I really like the idea behind the hybrid setups from Ford when it comes to the Escape, having the traditional hybrid, then also having this plug-in here. Now, what tends to be, I don't want to say is a problem, but where these things kind of fall behind is a lot of people get these, and because of the range, they don't charge them up as much as they should. So a lot of the times when you're basically running the gas engine to charge the battery and run the vehicle, the fuel economy is not as good as it would be if you charge the battery whenever you could, whenever you were at home. But I mean, still relatively efficient. This powertrain is this 2.5 4-cylinder hybrid setup. But where this battery is basically depleted, and it's not it's meant to drive you electric. It's not meant to kind of go in and out with the hybrid. So it's a bit more, I guess, it wants the gas engine more unless you have a charge, and then you can basically just drive this thing electrically for 35 plus miles. But here with this battery is basically at 0. It's going to take a minute to get it up to where it needs to be. And I mean, the road noise is pretty good. You could probably hear it a bit more if you were in the EV mode, but since the gas engine is running, it doesn't make it seem as loud as it probably is when the vehicle is all but silent. Now the eco mode, it gets up to speed pretty good. It's, you know, pretty easy to get going overall. Normal, you get a bit more pep. Sport will be almost like overly aggressive, but depending on what you're needing, all three of those modes have their own kind of differentiation between them, which I like. And then the slippery mode is just kind of meant to keep you safe in you know, light snow and ice conditions when it comes to accelerating. When you're braking, there's not really much you can do about that. But I'm going to put into the normal mode now. And I have the max regen on. I have it in this L mode, and that's pretty much what the low mode does on these hybrids. It just maximizes your regen, so you can pretty much all but use it as a full-on braking system. It definitely dials the brakes back, but it won't bring you to a complete stop necessarily. But I like the interior of the Escape, even though this one doesn't have a lot of features. I just drove a hybrid Platinum with all-wheel drive, and that had pretty much everything you could want in these, but still a nice interior here. The space gray, I just love the color overall. It doesn't feel too dark in here. It feels a bit more expensive than it should be, I think. And it's just a nice overall package with this this black here. Now from the regen, it started out in this EV mode quite a bit. So still there, it's about to kick on here in a minute. At least I thought it was. So that regen braking I pulled downhill, it gave this thing quite a bit of electric range. Now as I start to come up this incline, there it is. The gas engine kicks on. But I mean, relatively seamless transition, I think. It just kind of kicked on, and I didn't feel any loss of power or anything like that. Now I'm gonna put in a sport mode, try to give it a pull getting on the interstate here. Have a little bit of space behind me. Actually have quite a bit. I'm not gonna floor it, but I'm gonna give it a pull. Here we go. So not bad. Something tells me if I were to have a, you know, a full charge in this battery, it would pull a bit better, but not terrible at all. Now I do want to give one more big thanks to Ford Lincoln of Franklin here in Franklin, Tennessee for allowing me to review this Escape plug-in today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But I mean, the ride quality is good. The sound acoustics in here are good. It's just it's a solid choice, and I think the Escape hybrids, the Escape plug-ins, just the Escapes in general, is such good options that it kind of sucks that they haven't been able to really meet their full potential in the market. I think it's because the interior can feel a bit dated compared to the Hyundai Tucson, some of the other options from Japan, Korea, but it's such a practical vehicle. When you think about the fuel economy, when you think about the price, when you even think about the tech that's included. Now, I feel like the styling on the outside is a bit dated. Ford hasn't touched it in a minute, but I mean, it's been a good looking vehicle. Everyone else is just kind of refreshed and redesigned a few times more than Ford has, but it's just a solid vehicle for the money, in my opinion, especially when you're looking at plug-in hybrids with or without the federal tax incentives. So all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 Escape plug-in.